Hi, I'd like to see you again. I'm Chris. In this video, I'll show you how to use Beckhoff TwinCAT TF6420 to connect with PostgreSQL database. In this video, I will not just show you how to use TwinCAT with the PLC API, but also to let you know how to use the VS Code with the PostgreSQL plugin to test the connections between the TwinCAT PLC and the TwinCAT the PC that we wish to install with TwinCAT runtime with PostgreSQL. Okay, so before I start to show you how to make the PLC program, maybe something I'd like to explain some concept with the TF6420. Here is a screenshot that I take from Beckhoff Online Help. You can also find it in their Beckhoff TwinCAT website. So here you see there's a 4 type of workflow while I use TF6420 with the SQL expert mode. But in this video, I will just show you the first flow and the second flow. The first flow is the SQL command with our data return. Oh, that means that you will insert a data, or you update the data by using the SQL command with insert or update. In this flow, you just need to connect to the SQL server and then to create a command and execute it, and finally to disconnect the connection between your TwinCAT runtime to SQL data server. With the SQL command with data return, just like if you want to use the select command, the basic flow is very similar to the without data return, but you need to do a little bit more. In this case, you need to add a read command to read the data that after you get from the data server, and then after you read the data, you need to release it. So that means you have to clear the cache data, and then finally you can disconnect the connection between the TwinCAT runtime to the SQL server. Okay, explanation. The explanation is end. I'll start to show you how to use VS Code to test the connections between your PC to the SQL server first. Let's start. Okay, now here's the screen of VS Code. Now we can start to check the connections between our PC to the PostgreSQL database. Then, before we start to test the connections, we need to install the plugin from VS Code. It's just very easy. You can just go to Google. Here is my Google, and just go to search VS Code PostgreSQL plugin, and then just download this one and install in your inside in your VS Code. Then you can use this plugin to test the connections between your PC to the database. I have a fully instruction or a tutorial that is talking about how to install it and how to do some basic testing. If you want, you can just follow my video, my tutorial that I leave it in the video descriptions. So maybe you can follow this instruction to learn how to use it. In this video, I will not introduce so much. So, okay, now here is my database, my PostgreSQL database. The IP is 192.168.5.144. That is, this time, in this video, we will use the database called x85 and access the table with text. So here is our table. The first one, I'll show you a very convenient function is you can directly to send a keyword from VS Code to the database by just click bottom. For example, here's a tax. Here's a tax table. What you need to do is select the tax table and then right click, select, and run select top 1000. Done. Now you can see that in my database, in my table, there's only 4 data record in here. This 4 data record we'll use in the next part of our video. That my next part that is talking about how to access this data with the TwinCAT PLC API. So now you will know how to set it. Then there's a very important when you use with the TwinCAT PLC API that you need to confirm what is the data type or your data. In here, in this type, it's characters. But depends on your table. Maybe sometimes you have integer, you have a real, you have so many different type of data. So I'll show you a command to how to get the data types from a command. So how to send a command from here? You can just go to text, right click, new keyword. Then a new screen is shown here. You can just say select tag value and characters link is also tag value, and then from text, right click and one keyword. So now as you see here, this first one that with the tag value 61, you only have 2 characters, so the length will be 2, and the next 3 data to have 2 characters, so the data will be 3 and we have 3. And the last one, because the data is 1 to 34, so the character length is 1 to 34. Okay, now you know how to get the character lengths of the data. And the next one, I will show you how to update the text. It is a command that I'll use later in the TwinCAT PS API. What you need to do that is just update text set tag value is equal to for example 655, okay, where tag name is equal to, so now you can input the tag name in here. Just go back to our QR windows in here. I will try to update this one, application /gvlo factorio /q count 2. Let's copy it and go here to paste it. And all now do is just right click here, the one QR again. Now the result is the QR update. So you can go back here, look at now it's not update. All we can do is just send one more keyword here. And see now the value changed to 655. So now you know which command we'll use to update the value the inside table. Okay, so the connection is okay. We know which command that we need to send from our TwinCAT runtime to Progress database. The first one is select, get the data from database, and then use the update update command to update the value that is currently exiting in the database. Okay, connection test is finished. Now we can start to play with TwinCAT. Okay, now here we open the TwinCAT software in here. Now we can start to build our project. Then before I create my PLC program, I would like to create a database server project first, because we need to use this project to configure out the connections between our TwinCAT runtime and the PostgreSQL Server. So let's start. Before that, make sure that you install the TF6420 function into your PC. Then we select solution, right click and add new project. And here select the empty TwinCAT database server project, or you can just go here to search database. Then you find a empty TwinCAT database server project. Press next and enter your project name and then create it. Okay, now your project is created. Now your TCDB server is configuration is created. Now we can add a database connections inside. By adding the database connections, we can just select the TCDB server, right click, add new database. A new database is created in your project. When you open that, there's a very important ID that I would like to mention before I continue to do this tutorial. It is DBID. It is a very important parameters to let you to use in the next part. You need to pass this number to any function block of the SQL or the SQL command function block. So now here's one. Maybe then there is a parameter called dbid. I think it's ndbid in all function blocks is related to the SQL server, not just SQL, for the database server function blocks. At that time, you need this ID number. So in this case, it's dbid1. Then we can choose the database type. In here, we can choose the database type by using a drop-down list. And here, I will choose PostgreSQL. And after that, you can enter the host, database, port, and explanations. So for the host, it is the IP of your PostgreSQL server. In my case, 192.168.5.144. For the database, as the last part, the database name is called XA5. Okay, and the default data port is 5432. And in execution method, I will choose username and password. Just enter the username and password you configured in your server. In my case, username is Ubud, and then I enter my password. I make sure that I didn't edit again. Okay, so then you configure your DB in here. Then you can press the check button to check your connection can connect to your server correctly or not. By just click the check button. Great. Now the configuration check successful. So does that mean this configuration is okay and it can connect to the PostgreSQL server. Then we can save a project. Now we can click DB, right click, and activate configurations to download our DCD DB server configurations to our server. Okay, great. As you see here, the server is successfully uploaded. Okay, so now our basic state is finished. Now we can program the PLC. Let's go to PLC and right click, add new item, and choose PLC template and standard PLC project and add it. Just give me a second. Okay, now a new PLC project is added in your TwinCAT project. Okay, close the unused one and open it. The first one, I need to import the TC3 database library. It's a library that with so many SQL, non-SQL function block to need to access the database more easily. So click the reference and go to add library, and in search here just type TC3 underscore database. Okay, here is the library that we need, so we can just choose TC3 underscore database and press OK. Wait a second, TC3 underscore database is inserted in your project. So we can close it. The next one, I would like to add a DUTs. Just go right click, add and DUT, and I'll give name called DUT.SQL. So actually, this DUT.SQL is for us to after we send the select command from our TwinCAT system to our PostgreSQL server, then the PostgreSQL server will return the data to us. Depends on what we select, what kind of data that we request. At that time, we need a buffer, and also we need a buffer to save that data, right? So basically, it may be array of bytes, but for easy to read or for easy management, I will create a data type. As we checked in the last part, then we know that the data type is characters. So in here, we can just define the same things in the TwinCAT project. So first one is tag name is string 255, and tag value is also string with 255. it's better, or you must to define the string with a fixed length. Even that you have some trouble while you try to send the data, or you try to create your SQL command. Okay, so my dud_SQL is finished. Now we can go to main program to create our project. I assume this one a little bit easy to see. Okay, I hope you can follow me. And the first one, I will show you some function. I will create a function block that we use in this program. The function block instance, yes. The first one is fb_SQL database ASEBASEEVT. It is FB SQL database SVE. Then you need to you can insert some parameters is necessary in here or in the program, but because I will not change, I think I'll not change in my program anymore, so I will insert the parts of the input parameter in this part. Here there's two parameters you need to configure. The first one is slink netid. This is the netid AMS ID. In here, because I'm using my local TwinCAT, I just let it to be empty. Then for the t timeout, it's a timeout time. I will just configure a 5 second to it, sharp 5 second. Okay, great. Then this function block as FB SQL database event can help us to connect our TwinCAT system to the database, the SQL database. And just connect, and you can insert the command function block. So what kind of function block, what kind of command function block that you can insert? If with this one, FB SQL command event in. It should be FB SQL data command SQL command event. Then slink is equal to empty, and t timeout is equal to t sharp 5 second. So now maybe you can see that there's two functions. The first one is FB_SQL command, and other one you have a event. I show here the event, right? So what is this event? If you use a function blocks, if without EVT, it means that you will not get the more information of your function block. For example, you can get the error message, you get the error ID more clearly. You don't need to use other program to get the UN status of your function block. You can directly view it on the monitor window or get it. Okay, let's just to continue. Then the next method is next function block is SQL result EVT. It should be FB SQL result EVT. Say as same as netid is equal to empty, and t timeout is equal to t sharp 5 second. T sharp 5 second. Okay, so this function block is it can help us to process the data that return from the SQL server. For example, as I mentioned before, if you use the select command, okay, you do the select command from your inside your program, then actually you are trying to request some data to the SQL server, and if the command is correct, it prefers that the SQL server will return some data for you. So this function blocks is help you to process this data. You have method .read to read the data. You have .release to clear the cache of your data. You mean to clear your buffer. Okay. Okay. Now after we define the function block, the instance, now we can define some other stuff. The first one I would like to define tags. Is the array. is around 100 of DUT SQL. It would be a buffer. It would be the destinations that after you select the data from the database. Okay. Then I have I step. This is flow control in my program. Okay. And I have an I SQL command. It should be arranged 1 equal 4 of string 255. It is the command that to help me to update the data inside the PostgreSQL Server. After that, I'll have a I counter is equal to int 0. It is just a variable to help me to refresh the data with different values that make sure that my connection is not in freeze. Okay. After that, I have a I is for looping. I'll have a I substep. I'll show you how you use it in later. And I'll have a I error count. It is just a value that if you get some error or function block, just +1 to let you know. Then I'll have a as selected ect command. Okay. As the command is also a string with 255 link. It is a command. It is a variables to let me to store the select command of the to send the SQL server. Finally, I have a T on process. It is a timer for me to jump between step by step something. Okay, great. All the instance is defined. Now I can start to create my program. Okay. The first one, I'll use the case statement. Case I step of. So you can use the statement, case statement to to control your step. It is a very basic step control in the structured test program. So for step 0, it means the initialization program. I will initialize my timer. Let's put a false to here. And after that, I put my counter equal to 1. I put my step to 10. It means my initialization is finished. Then you can add more step in here. Finally, you can just put in the other step. Okay. And then I will go to step 10. So what I will do is step 10. For step 10, I will try to connect my TwinCAT system to the PostgreSQL server. So I use fb.sql database evt doc connect. Okay, you can use this method to connect your TwinCAT system to the PostgreSQL server, to any SQL server. Then they have a one parameter called HDBID. This is the ID that what I mentioned before. You need to remember it because you need to use now. Okay, so it should be 1. Okay. Now we call the connect method. Then now we can check it. If fb.sql database event doc b error, it means if there's any error. Any error in this function block, then we can add +1, okay, and also we can first go to some error step. In this case, 9991, okay. Then if dbsql data event doc b connect, b connect. It is a property to let you to get the function block. Now this function block, this instance is connected to the PostgreSQL server or not. If it's connected, so it means the connection is okay. We can jump the next step. I set equal to 20. Okay. Then we go to step 20. For the step 20, now we can insert the comment that we would like to send to the PostgreSQL server. So use fb.sql database
event doc create command. You use this method to initialize our SQL command fb_SQL command event instance. You take one parameter called PSQL command is pointer to the instance of fb_SQL command event. What we handle very easy, just do the same thing, is equal PSQL command is equal to ADR. It is a function to let you to get the memory offset or anything. Okay, so in here we will choose fb_SQL command event. Okay, then now we can do the same thing. If fb_SQL database event doc be error, it means some error here. Okay, then we can same thing, +1 error +1 +1. Then we can step to the 9992. There's some any error step. Okay, then if not, so it means that the function block if no error, so we can use a timer on doc process. Then in is equal to not fb_SQL database doc busy. It means that now the function block is not executing, and also and not fb_SQL database dot error, and also there is no error inside our function block, Then if t_on underscore process.q, it means a timer trigger. So what can we do? Then we can initialize back our timer. In is equal to false. Okay, ALSD. And then we can jump the step to 13, and this time I will plus counter is equal to I counter to 1, and if I counter is bigger than 100, I will reset it to 1. It just makes sure I will not overflow. Okay, not big deal. Then you see it very easy. I just initialize my command, and then I will check it is error or not, then jump next step. Okay, I'll see have one error here, right? Okay, no, just okay here. So 30. Now is this step to create our command to update the data from send update commands from TwinCAT to our SQL server. You can just directly write the string inside, but I create a function here. So let's go to poise, right click, add poise, then choose functions. For return type, I will just string 255. We will set the function name is fc SQL update commands. Great. So in this function, we will take two parameters. I just zoom it a little bit big. I hope you can see it. The first one, the I value, is the value that you want to send, you want to insert in your update command. Then we have a other parameter called tags. I tag. It's just the tag that you want to update. Okay. So the first one, I will screen here. The first one, you need to create your update command. fc SQL update command, SQL underscore update command is equal to. I just copy in my notepad. I will save in here and directly paste in here. Okay. So here is the command that I mentioned in last step. In last part, using the update tag set tag value equal. So it's the first part of our command. Then we can use this command again. Use a function called concat to join two strings. Then str1 is equal to fc SQL commands right? SQL2, so what's SQL2 is equal to int to string, and we choose I value. Okay, so because the parameters we passing inside function is integer, we need to use the int to string to change data type from int to string. Okay, very easy. Then fc.sql command is equal to concat. I think my pronunciation is correct. The first one is also same command SQL using same return value, and then SQL2 is equal to a space. I will put a space in here to let my comments more easy to read, or more other people easy to read. And because you add the value here, you need to put a space in here. Okay, so and then we can add again SQL SQL update commands is equal to concat. SQL1 is equal to SQL update command, and SQL2 is equal to where I think it's better to paste it. I must have some typing wrong. Just wait a second. Okay, I copy it from my notepad and then give it close. So now I join the command is now is update task set value equal to some value and have a space, and where tag name equal to but. So the but is your tag. No, there's a parameter, the I tag you get from outside. fc SQL command update command is equal to concat. SQL1 is equal to fc SQL commands, and SQL2 is equal str2 is equal to I tag. Oops, I tag. Great. Okay, now your function is finished. You can close it. Now, after you close your functions, that what can you do? You can just directly use it in your program. So in here, I choose SQL underscore commands, and one, I hope, is equal to fc SQL update commands. I value is equal to I counter. Okay. Then for the I tags, I also copy it from the notepad. I just paste in here. Okay, we paste in here. Just look it a bit down. Okay, so as you see here, I tag is equal. There is a dollar icon here because in I think PLC, or I say in i66131, the string format, not double string, okay? The string format is using with, for example, string 1 is equal to, and then you use this symbol to set or to assign your string. But how about if your string have double, also have 1, this symbol? Because now if you do like this, TwinCAT or any ID will not know what is this meaning. Okay, that's why we will put a dollar icon, dollar symbol in here. Then we will tell TwinCAT, hey, this one is not for the string statement. It's just a characters inside. So that's why we will put a dollar in here. Okay. Then I think it's just change the name here. For me, easy to copy paste. I think here put is here. Okay. Save it. Then because I copy it from the webpad, so I directly paste here because I think I will have some typing error. Yeah, I'm not very careful. Yeah. Okay, so here I will update my value from the first one is I counter, the second one is I counter multiply 10 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 to make sure that I am transferring committing different of data in every cycle. Okay, then I change my step. I steps equal to 14 and I sub step is equal to 0 and I is equal to 1. Then okay, so I will go to step 14 now. So in the step 14, what we do in here is we will execute we'll send this SQL command to the PostgreSQL Server. So how do we send it? We use the methods if fb underscore SQL command execute dot execute. Command event dot execute. Then PSQL command is equal to ADR SQL command I. Okay. Then it's good, right? So here is they have all the other parameters called CBSQL command. So what's CBSQL command? CBSQL command is just the size of your command. So what we can do, we can just comma it and use another functions called size of what? SQL underscore command of index I. Okay, great. Then we can use the then to start our control. Okay, now if fbsql command evade.be error, it means there's some error while we execute the program, execute the function block. Just slow down because so here, then I don't know why it will not automatically add a and if in the end, but anyway. So and I error count is equal to I error count plus 1. Then I will just go to the some error step 994. Okay. So we close this one. Okay. Then we will check if the function block is busy or not. If fb underscore SQL command event dot be busy, it means the function block is executing. I will assign my subset 1. It means that it's a monitor flag that is make sure the function block is executing, is started to execute. So one time we get the flag, we can check it is the function block or this command is finished or not. How do it? If not, fb underscore SQL command event dot busy. If the function block is not busy anymore and I substep is equal to 1, it means this function block is execute and finish. Then we can change the step to 45 and change our substep to 0 to isolate in isolation in. Okay, so now we go to step 45. Okay. So what is 45? Very easy because we have 4 commands in here, right? So with I equal to I plus 1, and then if I is greater than 5, it means all the command is sent to the PostgreSQL Server. Then we'll put the next step, and also initialize our substep. Then even else, in other case, you go back to 40 because we still have some command need to send. Great. So now we go to step 15. So for 15 now, now is the step for us to send the select command. we need to get some data from the PostgreSQL Server to our TwinCAT runtime. How can we do it? First thing, we will initialize the select command. I also copy it from my notepad. I just copy and paste it here. It's equal to select stammer from tags limit 1000. Okay, great. Then we can start to send this command to the PostgreSQL Server. If fbsql command execute data return. So for the last step we use execute, but this time use execute data return because we prefer some data will come back from our SQL server. So we'll use this execute data return to get the data and to pass one more parameters to save our data. So make sure that the parameter here is a little bit more, but you have same SQL command is equal to ADR, right? ADR as select command, and SQL command is equal to size of select command, ELECS command. Okay, I think it's better to put it here because it's not easy to see, right? Then they have one more parameter need to config is PSQL DB result is equal to ADR FBSQL result EVT. So this now it will pass all the data. I think you use this function block to process the result data. Okay. Then we can close it. Then and if. So then what? First thing, you need to check the errors, not right? Same fb_sql command event.b error. If error, that's the same thing. I step is equal to 995, and I error count is equal to I error count plus 1. And if, and by the way, in another way, if fb.sql result .n data count is more than 0 and not fbsql command .bc, then it means that the data that we get from the server, the total byte amount is more than 0 and the command is executed, finish. Then we can change the step, we change our approach next step. I step is equal to 60. Okay, 60. I will close this one. I don't know why this one is here. Okay. So now we go to step 60. Okay. For the step 60, that now we can read the data. How to read it? We can use the if fb_data result evt dot read. So we have some parameters we need to config. First one is f start index is equal to which index we would like to start to read your data. I choose 0. I should read from the first one. How n record count is mean how many data you want to read. I read 4 data. P data. So P, what is P data? P data is the memory address that you want to save the data. In my case, I use tags, the array of DUT. Then you have a CB data, right? CB data is equal to size of tags. Okay. And you have a B right. What if I think? So it means that you check the data is correct or not. I use true. Then I'll have a B data release. Okay, one more time, right? B release. Why? Equal to true, equal to true. Just wait a second. Equal to 4 flux. Yes, it's true. Okay, and I will B data release is equal to true also. Okay, so it means I will clear the cache of the data. Then, okay, so what happened if this step is I execute this method? The first one, same. I check there's any error inside or not. SQL result dot B error. If there's any error, B error. Then we will +1. Then we'll go to some error step 996. Okay. Then if fb.sql result .n data count is equal to 0, it means that we read all the data and the buffer is clear because we have a clear data release flag in here, right? Then what we do, we go to the other step equal to 70. Okay. Then we can pick this more clearly. Okay. For the step 70, now we just need to wait 1 second. Oh, so 1 second. Oh, see. I mean, in is equal to true, and we will have a 1 second delay on 1s. Okay. If t on process dot q, it means if our timer is triggered, so just maybe one second is gone, then we'll just t on process. Oops. Process in equal to false to initialize out of the reset our timer. Then we go back to step to 20. Okay, make it more clear. I hope I don't have error. Great. And now we can activate our project to the TwinCAT runtime. Oops. Yes, because I'm using VM. I need to config my core. Okay. Save again and activate the function again. Do you know to restart the TwinCAT system in run mode? Yes, sure. And now it's resetting. I can log in. Yes. I can press the pay button to start it. Great. Now you can see the steps running. Maybe it's not easy to see, but okay, so I show you something here. For example, in the FB SQL database event, you see the B connect is being true, so it means the connect database is established, and then we can go to the tax 0, the index 0, index 1, index 2. That means all the data is continuously update by 1 second. Why? Because in here we use the counter, then we will +1 and then multiple 10 and +1 +2 +3. So we are continuing send the command from step 30 to 45, and then in step 50 you use the select command to get back the data from the PostgreSQL Server. Okay, so I think this video tutorial is a little bit long for you. I hope you like this, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me, and I will try my best to answer you. I hope you like my videos, and I would like to see you again.
So, if you like video, share it and comment. See you next time. Bye bye.